Hey guys, welcome to Craft with a Purpose. I'm Joanne. Thank you so much for stopping by. What do I have for you guys today? Well, I'm in the kitchen, y'all. Yep, the Tweenie's not here. The Italiano's not here. It's just me solo. I was getting ready to prep some burgers, y'all, because we're getting ready to head out on a little mini vacation, and I wanted to make sure I had some homemade burgers for us. So I wanted to make sure I included you guys in this journey, and that's why I'm sharing my recipe, my secret recipe for the best burgers ever. So stay tuned, y'all, because we're getting ready to make some amazing, amazing burgers. But first, gotta pick up this hair. And guys, I just, a lot of times, a lot of my recipes, it's trial and error, really, and just been doing it so many times. And ultimately, I just, tweak it and I get it right. I get it right. So here we go. The things that you're gonna need, guys. You can either do a white onion or red onion. I think red onion gives it a little bit more flavor. The meat, we buy from an Italian market here in Florida. This is 5 pounds of fresh meat. Obviously, I'm doing a big amount. This 5 pounds, it'll yield us about 17 burgers, actually. And they're not little tiny burgers, y'all. These are big burgers, because we actually have this that Michael got. It's like to flatten burgers, and I just use it. I use it just to make the patties even. So as you can see, they're pretty big patties. They're not little. They're pretty big. So we're gonna use that. If you don't have one of these, y'all, it's okay. You can just use your hands to, measure and make the patty. But we have that. If you don't have a cutting, kind of got loose here, but it's okay. This is a little cutting contraption that we have. This makes my life a lot easier and faster, so I can make this video very fast for you guys. We're gonna chop the garlic here. We're gonna chop the onions on here as well. And you're gonna need for this recipe some eggs. I personally like to add eggs on the meat. You guys don't have to, but I feel that it gives it a lot. It helps it become softer and more tender, I guess you could say. But anyway, what I was saying, 5 pounds of extra lean ground chuck. Okay, that's what we're using today. That's what we like to use for our burgers. And we do get it, like I said, at a market that is fresh, y'all. The butcher cuts it up and it's fresh. And that's important, to use good meat. All right, we're gonna use that. We're gonna have a little bit of milk in there as well. We're gonna use a little bit of breadcrumbs. I'm sorry, I'm so used to using panko, y'all, that I hardly use breadcrumbs, but we're gonna use it in our burger today, okay? My secret ingredient that I know and not everybody uses, but I love to use, is a little bit of nutmeg. Y'all know I use it in every single recipe here. We're gonna use some kosher salt, and like I said, we're gonna use some garlic. We're gonna use 2 eggs in this specific recipe. We're gonna have some pepper, and I don't know yet if I'm gonna use the kosher salt. I have Himalayan salt also. I usually like the kosher salt, but whatever, they're both here. So we're gonna use that, and then a little bit of black pepper, y'all, and the secret ingredient. And you have to be very careful when you use this product, y'all, because it is very salty. It is very strong. You gotta be really careful with this stuff, okay? And that's this. This is my secret recipe. I can't believe I'm giving it away, but I'm giving it away. Okay, y'all, that's a game changer. That is a game changer. When I started using that, it's just a game changer. I don't know what's going on with my hair here, but it's like flying everywhere. All right, here we go. Gloves, very important, y'all, when you cook, to use hand gloves. I don't like touching meat. I think it's gross. And we're gonna use this. Okay, so here we go, guys. Got 5 pounds of meat. We're just gonna throw it in. And again, I want to make this recipe as fast as possible for you guys. I don't want to make it very long. But y'all, I promise you, if you make these burgers like this, your family's gonna be like, that's the best burger I've ever had. So here we go. We got the 5 pounds of meat. You don't have to use 5 pounds, y'all. You can use 2 pounds, whatever, how many pounds you think you need. And by the way, I just recently started doing this whole pound thing because Italians, they measure everything by pounds. 2 pounds of pasta, 3 pounds of meat. What the, no, I was just like, okay, well, we're gonna use, whatever. This amount is good, you know, half a pound, whatever. We really don't ever go by the weight, but I find it interesting how Michael goes by weight. No, we're gonna cook 2 pounds of pasta. 2 pounds of pasta. How about just a box? Like I cook like a box, but Italians is all about the pounds, y'all. So I better get it right. All right, here we go. We're gonna chop the garlic. First and foremost, we're just gonna throw it in here, and then if you guys have never seen these, I think they sell them at Walmart. I don't know what they're called, but oh wait, before I start, y'all, I'm wearing my t-shirt. Y'all need it. Like, is this not a cool t-shirt or what? Hottest multiple sclerosis patient. Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's me. Yeah, that's me. I'm the MS patient, and you know, yeah. My boyfriend thinks I'm hot, so. Oh yeah, we're in the kitchen. We're in his kitchen, and it's Hip Hop Cucina because he loves hip hop. No, he's not a you know, hip hop or anything like that. He's an engineer, but his kitchen is called Hip Hop Cucina. So today we're in the Hip Hop Cucina. All right, we're gonna use this like I was saying to y'all before I interrupted for my shirt here, because I love my shirt. I used to wear this shirt, by the way, when I used to go to the hospital and get my infusions for my MS, and I just thought it's me, right? It's me. All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, that's Michael. He's trying to interrupt me right now. Let's go back to garlic. We're gonna make this.
Look,
Can you make me some coffee, please?
It's a nice saying.
All right, guys, so this just cuts down the time, y'all. Here we go. See how quickly we just chopped that up? Love it. So we're gonna throw this, yes. Mangia. Statezito. Okay, I'm not Italian. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we're gonna throw the garlic in here, guys. And again, you know, the garlic, I threw about 5 cloves of it in here. Guys, remember when I tell you, when I cook, if you've seen any of my other cooking videos, I hardly ever measure, y'all. I know it's horrible to share with you guys that because you're gonna be like, Joanne, but I kind of need to know, you know, so I'll throw a number at you, but I just eyeball it, y'all. Eyeball it. Obviously, in this particular case, we did throw in here 5 cloves. I don't think that's a lot. I think that's good. You know, I love the garlic flavor. All right, so that's that. We're gonna really chop up quickly some of this red onion. Like I said, you can use white onion, yellow onion, whatever you like. No, I'm not gonna do that. Michael's like telling me what to tell y'all, and I'm like, no.
Well, that's why you don't like to measure.
Well, I don't know. That's not why I don't like to measure. I'm not a math person, and which is fine. But that's not why I don't measure. See, when you truly cook from the heart, I mean, yeah, you do need to know kind of measurements, but y'all, I'm not a chef. Like I don't, you know. Oh, here we go. We need to put this back in here. We're gonna throw some of this onion in here. We're just gonna chop it up real quick. And I could chop it up myself, y'all, but I'm trying to save time here so we can get this video out to you guys sooner. And I don't want to bore you guys. I mean, you guys are not gonna stick around with me yapping, like my son says, for an hour and a half while I chop stuff up. So, all right, Joanne, just a little bit more onions here. And look, you can use powder of garlic and powdered onions. I don't know, I feel that when you use the real stuff, y'all, it gives it a much better flavor, of course. You know what I mean? So that's why we're using fresh. And I chose to use red onions today just because they give it a lot of flavor.
You said it fresh. That's like the motto of the Hip Hop Cucina.
It is the motto of your
fresh.
kitchen, babe. That's right. Always fresh at the Hip Hop Cucina. He's right about that. He is right about that. So this is fast and easy, y'all. Usually I chop it up, but nobody got time for that right now. We're trying to make this video fast for y'all, so you can go make these burgers and go spend time with your familia. All right, we're gonna throw all this onion in here. Nothing like the smell of onions. Hi, babe. You're not gonna say hi?
Hi, but before you go
Say hi.
make burgers for the family, you have to share this video.
Yes, that's right.
Make sure y'all have a good Father's Day.
Yes. Well, we're gonna be sharing this after Father's Day, but yeah. So here we go. We have some onions in here and some fresh garlic. Okay. We are going to. Where is it? We're gonna put 2 eggs in here. I don't. You know how I admire people that know how to like crack it with one hand. I can't do that. It's all good. There goes 1 egg. There goes the other egg. I don't beat them, I just throw them in there. What else? Okay, here we go. We're gonna add a little bit of nutmeg. Don't ask me how much, just a little bit, not too much. It's just a dash, really. I don't like to put a lot of it. That's a very strong flavor. We're gonna go ahead and kosher salt in here. We'll add a little bit more after I throw in the meat. We're gonna throw a little bit of leche, milk. Well, how much are you putting, Joanne? A tablespoon? 2 tablespoons? All right, we're gonna mix this up a little bit. Oh, we're gonna add a little bit of dill. Y'all remember, this is very salty. You have to be so careful. I can't open this, baby. Yeah, I can't open it.
This is magic.
It is magic. It's my secret ingredient, y'all. I don't share this very often, but now the whole world knows, I guess. Or my whole 7,300 subscribers will know. Okay, here, we're gonna be very cautious with this stuff, y'all. Here I am gonna measure. So we're gonna do.
And I'm glad that
1.
I invited you with the tails.
Yes, 2. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of this, no more. Yes. Thank you, babe. He's actually the one that introduced me to this product, y'all. And honestly, one more item that I do use, and I don't have it here, but I have it at home. He doesn't like it too much, but I actually purchased from Amazon liquid smoke. Liquid smoke, I don't know, it just gives it a nice smoky flavor to the burgers. He doesn't like it, so I'm not going to use it here today. But we're just going to mix all this up. This is why we wear gloves. Ooh, thank you, baby.
Espresso style Italian type. I can't help you.
Hold on, baby.
You want a straw?
Gracias.
Yeah.
Cafecito para mi gente cubana. En la cocina, el cubano con el cafecito. Como estamos en la cocina italiana, pues vamos a un espresso italiano.
We don't get any rights for it.
Oh Lord, that's right. We don't get any benefits from showing any of these products that we use, but
if you'd like to come and deal with us, we would be more than happy to promote.
Yes. Okay, that's it. Okay, you can leave the kitchen now, babe. He's only invited once in a while in the kitchen, not when I'm cooking. I don't know if you guys please share in the comments if you have partners, if you have your children that like to get in the kitchen when you're in the kitchen and you don't like it, please share in the comments. I would love to know. I'm not gonna use, let's see, I don't wanna dirty this up. This pan is dirty now, but I'm gonna go ahead and use some fresh garlic in here. Pepper. This is kind of cool. Michael bought this little contraption. It's a little light, and then it's just throwing some pepper in there. It's grinding it up. It's cool. He used to have one that I gave him. I don't know what happened to it. He used to have a little bit of it here. I love pepper. I know a lot of people don't tolerate pepper, but I love it. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw the meat in here, guys. And like I mentioned to you before, just, you know, depending how many burgers you're gonna make. And we do find that the chuck meat, it just, you know, it's perfect for burgers. It doesn't have a lot of fat on there either. I personally don't like too much meat, so for me, this is really the only type of burger meat I like. I know people like bison and crazy things like that. I don't like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and just mix this all in here. Oh, it smells so good already, guys. Oh gonna show it to you now, but give me a second. Just throw the rest of the meat in here. 5 pounds. Bam! In the bucket. So right now, we're just mixing this up, guys. We're mixing it all in here, making sure that all the flavors, bind. And pretty simple, right? It's really not that complicated, guys. Obviously, take it out of the fridge. I mean, I wouldn't cook it with cold temperature. That's one thing that I've learned, that it's a big no-no, any kind of meat. Let it out and sit out at room temperature for a little bit, just because when it's cold, I don't like the texture it gets. I don't know why. Again, I'm not a professional cook. I'm just a Cuban girl that loves the kitchen. And I like to share it with y'all. All right, so here we go. We have this kind of blended all in there. So at this point, I know I threw the stuff in here before. And you can do it either way. You can put the meat first and then start adding the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna throw in here a little bit of bread crumbs. I'm gonna eyeball it also. I'm not gonna put too much. So I would even say maybe like a quarter cup. I would say like a quarter cup. Again, because I have 5 pounds of meat. Guys, just eyeball it. You can eyeball it and see the texture of the meat. Like right now, it's not as moist as it was a little bit ago. So I'm blending in all those fluids that were down there, and I'm just blending it all in together. The reason why you don't want to put too many breadcrumbs is you don't want to dry it out either. But also remember, we threw 2 eggs in here too. Ugh, this glove's like falling off. Use my clean hand. I'm gonna add a little bit more milk, guys. And by the way, that's something I learned from my stallion, as I call Michael. I didn't know this, but even eggs in the morning, you add a little bit of milk. Oh my gosh, it gives it such a different texture to the eggs, guys. I love it. So that's another little tidbit. If you didn't know that, if you're scrambling eggs, add a little bit of milk, y'all, and it's amazing. All right, so here we go. This seems like it's pretty mixed in here. And again, you don't want to put more than that on the Dales, guys, because it's a very strong flavor. And you don't want to do that. So, all right, we're almost done mixing this stuff up, guys. How fun is this? Just add a little bit more salt. Well, that's the only thing, is you got to be really careful with the salt because of the Dales. So I don't know, this looks pretty good to me, actually. Oh, one ingredient I did forget to share with y'all is babe, can you do me a favor? Can you give me the little stick of butter, please? So the other thing that I do, guys, when I finish making the patties is that I will add a little piece of butter in the middle of each burger. So while that is cooking, and that's a trick I learned actually years ago from Paula Deen. I used to watch her channel, Paula Deen. I don't know if you ever seen her. The southern lady that cooks with a lot of butter. Bless her heart, that Paula Deen, bless her heart. So yeah, guys, that's a little trick at the end where I go ahead and I add a little, cube of butter to every burger. Can I get the spray to spray this thing, the butter spray? See, that's the problem when you don't have your sous chef. You need them sometimes. You need the sous chef. Thank you, honey. All right, so this is the contraption that Michael has. Again, you don't really need one. I'll show you now how to make one if you don't have one of these, but I thought it was pretty cool that he had one of these. Just lower the camera a little bit. Oopsie. Oh, no, not that much. There we go. All right, so we're gonna use this contraption and we're just gonna take the burger, just kind of set it in there. These things keep falling off. Yeah, we're not gonna really use that though. We're just gonna stick with this one, I think. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I mean you can buy, they sell these for like waffles and things like that. You can use that to make cute burgers for the kiddos. All right, so then we're gonna squeeze this in here. Whoopsie, look at that. Look at that, guys. It almost looks like a burger straight from the grocery store, right? Isn't that cool? Oh, now I need a plate. Shoot. I missed my plate. I forgot my plate. But yeah, guys, look how perfect these come out. I love that. But I'm going to show you now. If you don't have this contraption, look at this. If you don't have this contraption, I'm going to show you how to make it. Thank you, love. Flip this over. Woo. Be a little noisy in here. All right, here we go. Oh, sometimes it could fall apart, but that's okay. We just, you know, you're in the kitchen, y'all. Nothing can really go wrong. It's like art. I tell this to my son all the time. You just fix it. Look at that. Smells good too, guys. Isn't that the perfect burger? Look at that. Okay, so if you don't have this contraption, guys, I'm sure you've made burgers before. Just take a specific amount in your hand, like take a big ball in your hand. I don't like burgers that are really big and thick, to be honest. But that's just me because I don't really like burgers. But here we go. You just take it in your hand, you flatten it out. And I'm sure you guys know how to do this. There you go. Super simple, right? Well, that's about it, guys. I'm not going to cook the burger to show you guys. I'm actually going to be cooking them when I go on vacation. And so maybe I will link that video here when I actually cook. Oops, sorry.